I'm not even joking. People that are actually 23 years old are complaining about, oh, I'm just getting old. Oh, my body just doesn't work like it used to. Babe, no, you're not old. You're just fat.
There are so many people online that make content that should not be making content. I can't believe she saw that video. She posted that video and said, you know what? That looks like this eats. This eats, I'm gonna post it. This needs to be said. Girl, no. Let's be so for real right now. Health is not a trend. It's not a vibe. And it is definitely not a one size fits all. But somewhere along the way, TikTok wellness culture has made it feel like if you're not doing absolutely everything, then you're doing nothing. You're unhealthy. So let's talk about that. First of all, when I was doing this video and searching for examples to include of what I was talking about, when I type health and wellness into TikTok, the first thing that comes up is health and wellness aesthetic. And if that is not a key indicator of how messed up TikTok health and wellness culture is and the influence it has on everybody else, I don't know what to tell you. That is so messed up. Health and wellness should not be an aesthetic. As you're scrolling, you start to notice a very disturbing pattern. It's not just about feeling better, it's about doing the most, and overall, it's about how you look. And more specifically, it's about checking off this to-do list that a lot of the influencers are preaching about. It's all the same. That supposedly proves that you're in your healthy girl era, that girl era, clean girl era, whatever the heck you want to call it. So some examples of things that might be on this list is wake up at 5 a.m., journal, go for a walk, greens drink, probably Bloom, matcha latte with collagen, taking a buttload of supplements, like just so much stuff that you need to check off in order to fit into that healthy girl lifestyle. And none of these habits are inherently bad. Like these are all great habits to have, but a key thing to remember is that what other people are doing might not work for you. Some of these habits might even be helpful for you. But the problem is when these routines start to become obligations instead of tools. We were not made to live our lives on a checklist. Real wellness starts when you take a step back, disconnect, and ask, what actually supports me? As you guys know or may not know, I'm now the supplements manager at my day job. And whenever I get the chance to try new supplements that support my needs, I am all for it. But an important thing to remember is that not all supplements are created the same. Just like how not all caffeine is created the same. This brand called Magic Mind reached out a little bit over a month ago and were like, hey, you got to try our shots. They'll help you become super focused and energized. And if you love them, we love to sponsor one of your videos. So I said yes. And over the course of the past month, I've been taking Magic Mind shots religiously. I even took them to work to share with my coworkers because I was like, these are really great and I want to share them with everyone I know. So I want to tell you guys all about them and why I accepted them as a sponsor. And I may nerd out a little bit here, fair warning. Personally, I do not handle caffeine well, and I had no idea that there were different types of caffeine that act differently based on the formulation technology like in Magic Mind. For example, their nano-encapsulation produces caffeine that absorbs differently in the body. And because it releases slower throughout the day, your body doesn't get this instant jolt of energy. Instead, you get multiple hours of sustainable energy and no crash. Magic Mind has 3 different shot formulations called Free, Original, and Max. They all have the same 12 ingredient stack of nootropics, adaptogens, vitamins, antioxidants, with varying amounts of caffeine and sugar all between the 3. I tried the Free and the Original Magic shots consistently over the course of the last month or so, and I did try the Max once. Because I don't handle caffeine well and the Max formulation has 165 milligrams of time-release caffeine, that formulation didn't work as well for me as the Free formulation and the Original formulation. However, they did work for my friend who lives off of energy drinks and he absolutely loved it. The Free has no caffeine and no sugar added, while the Original formulation has 55 milligrams of time-release caffeine. So like the Max, it doesn't release all at once, but over the course of 3 to 4 hours. So then you have that constant stream of sustainable energy without the crash. For me, my biggest issue throughout the day is getting into the worst slump by 2:30, 3 p.m. I get so tired, I almost fall asleep, and with doing YouTube and having a full-time job, I have work that needs to be done almost all the time. By 3 p.m., I'm procrastinating, overstressed, searching for some Doritos sweet chili heat chips like crazy, and searching for a show to binge watch. It's actually horrible, especially when I have things to do. And for me, as a supplements manager and being in the supplements industry, ingredients matter a lot. I love that Magic Mind has L-theanine, rhodiola, ashwagandha, and lion's mane in all of their shots. I take the shot and I'm ready to go with clear, stress-free mind and be energized so I can get what I need to get done. And what I find really cool, and this is the nerd part of me talking, but it's the nano encapsulation tech. And what this basically means is that it helps your body absorb more of the nutrients faster and helps the effects last longer. They just launched and they're doing a limited time offer, which means if you scan my QR code or use my code susannahfr60 or click the link in my description, you can get 60% off of your Magic Mind subscription. They also have a 100% money back guarantee. So if you don't like Magic Mind, they refund you 100%, no questions asked. This is a limited time deal, so if you have something big coming up on your plate or just need some extra support throughout the day, I would definitely give Magic Mind a try. Everyone who's tried it has loved it, including myself. Again, you can use my code SusannahFR60, scan the QR code, click the link in the description to get 60% off of your subscription. You guys don't want to miss this. That's an absolute crazy deal. Now let's get back to the video, and a big thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring today's video. Honestly, it's not wellness anymore, it's more of a performance, and the fact that so many influencers are preaching and filming and posting the same type of thing shows that it's not about adapting things to fit your body. It's about adapting things to fit a checklist, to fit into the health and wellness aesthetic, healthy girl lifestyle, and all the other names that we talked about already. It's a strange pressure to prove to everybody else online that you are a healthy person, even if your actual mind, body, and spirit is waving a white flag in the background saying, help me. At this point, I could write a list of 12 different health and wellness tricks and tips and whatever that I've seen from these influencers, and not even include drinking water, because we're so obsessed with the accessories of health that we mainly forget the basics. And sometimes this wellness checklist creates the illusion that more equals better. And there's a reason why the saying, sometimes less is more, is around. And I feel like this is one of those key moments where less is more. Sometimes adding more might be what works for you, but other times it just adds more pressure to get all the things done in the day that you feel like you need to do. I see a lot of influencers online talking about their non-negotiables, and the fact that it's a non-negotiable, like the fact that you feel like you have to do these things every single day to be healthy, seems like a lot of pressure to me. We're gonna watch some TikToks today that are just people giving some bad advice and just some other things I've seen in the health and wellness culture on TikTok. So let's get into that. We're going to talk about each one. And I really hope you guys get something from today's video, because I feel like this is such an important topic that's not talked about enough. And as time goes on, I feel like social media is just getting more toxic every single day.
If you are trying to enter your healthy girl era and start your fitness journey and lose some weight, build some muscle, and just feel strong and confident but don't know where to start, let me break things down for you and simplify things for you real quick. I'm going to go over 6 major non-negotiables that you should be doing every single day that will help you see a lot of progress in a little bit of time. Non-negotiable number 1 is your water intake. Try to consume at least 100 ounces of water a day. I know you all have one of these cups, so try to drink at least 2.5 of these, and that is 100 ounces. Next is your step goal. Start aiming for at least 8,000 steps a day. Hitting 8K steps is way easier than you may think, but I get it. If you have a full-time job and you're just kind of in the house all day, or you're really busy, I understand that it can seem overwhelming. So my tips for you is to get a walking pad under your desk if you have the ability to. You can try parking your car further from this store door when you're going to get your groceries or go to Target or just go shop. Or if you have extra 10 minutes to spare, just go outside, take a lap real quick, and come back. If you want to track it really accurately, just make sure your phone is in your hand, or if you have an Apple Watch, that also tracks your steps, and the Oura Ring also tracks your steps very accurately. The next major thing is your sleep and recovery. So, muscles are built outside of the gym. Yes, that is correct. When you are in the gym, you're breaking down that muscle, but when you're outside of the gym, that is when that muscle is repairing itself and getting stronger and bigger. So if you are spending 7 days in the gym for 2 hours at a time and you're getting 5 hours of sleep, you're not going to see that much progress. So make sure you're training 5 to 6 days a week and you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night. Next up is your nutrition. I like to eat around 80 to 90% whole foods, and I follow macros. That personally works for me. It's sustainable, and with macros, you're able to fit in some little goodies and sweet treats without feeling too deprived. I have another video explaining to you how to calculate your macros, but if you need more help after watching that, let me know. Next up is your training volume. So I already kind of mentioned that you should be training 5 to 6 days a week. So I'm going to share with you one of my favorite splits to build a feminine yet strong and confident physique. So let's say, for example, you're going to train Monday through Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday should be leg day. But don't just hit every single
I don't want to keep playing the video, but you can kind of see the gist of what she's saying. This is what you should be doing. They're non-negotiable. You should be doing this every single day. You should aim for this every single day, work out 5 to 6 days a week, blah, 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 blah. This is not going to work for every single person. While this may work for her and this routine may work for her, telling other people what they should be doing when you don't know what their lifestyle is, etc., that's on the viewer to figure out. But I still think the messaging of like, you should be doing this, that, and the other is not something that people should be telling other people to do. Maybe leave it to their doctors, maybe leave it to their personal trainers. Just because something works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody else. And again, calling them non-negotiables, making health and wellness a checklist does nothing but put pressure on people, does nothing but bring pressure. It gets rid of the peace and joy that health and wellness is supposed to bring to a person and replaces it with pressure, timestamps, almost guilt for not being able to hit their goals in a day. I used to be really influenced by this type of content back when I was getting into my fitness journey and everything. I've kind of fallen off the mark now, but I used to be religious and going to the gym, and I would listen to these people and I would get so upset if I could not do what they were doing, if I couldn't do the same workout movements because I've got a bad hip, I've got sciatica. From my years of working as a personal support worker and supporting other people, I can't do a lot of the same movements that other people do. My flexibility is garbage. I have bad hips. I have sciatica, like I said. I'm a mess in a 29-year-old's body, but I have to adapt. And my version of healthy and living a healthy lifestyle might not look like the next person's. And another thing I feel like a lot of people are doing, they're not asking themselves the right questions anymore. So we're not asking, does this habit keep me grounded? Is this meant for me in this season of life? Is this sustainable for me? Instead, we're asking, am I doing enough? Am I falling behind? Would this look good in a video if they are content creators and posting it? The scariest part of this mindset is that it disconnects us from our own bodies. Instead of listening to our own body's needs, we're trying to fit into this formula. And I've seen this time and time again on social media. Trends, newest fads. Right now, there's freaking people shoving spinach in their mouth, like putting handfuls of spinach first thing in the morning, shoving it in their mouth. And now all I see are people copying this one girl because she called it dinosaur time and it's supposed to help with taste buds and just a whole bunch of other nonsense. While that might be true, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's just a key example of how when people see something they see online, it's becoming popular, they automatically try to do it because they want to fit in. One thing I really want to talk about and dive into is the fact that health does not look the same for everybody. It never has. Some people thrive on early mornings. Others need 9 to 10 hours of sleep. Some bodies respond to high intensity workouts. Others need gentler movement. Just because your version of wellness does not look like what other people are posting online does not mean you are any less healthy than them. In fact, maybe you're doing what's right, because instead of following this one size fits all formula, you're doing what's right for you. You're self-aware of your own body and not just following the latest trend. And while trends and fads can really help us find things that work for us, I think there's also this dangerous aspect to it where instead of critically thinking about what we're doing to our bodies, what we're ingesting, what we're doing, what workouts we're doing, etc., we just follow it blindly because we see a mass amount of people doing the same thing. One of the key things I really want to drive into you guys throughout this video is to be more self-aware of your own body. Listen to your own body's needs. Don't automatically jump on a trend just because you see it blowing up online. There's a really dangerous trend online right now, a very toxic trend where people are saying skinny is healthy. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Skinny is healthy. The word skinny is everywhere.
Skinny is the outfit. Being skinny sends a message. You respect yourself. You prioritize yourself. You don't put yourself last. It's not just hot, it's high value because skinny cannot be bought. You look expensive because you are expensive. You've got standards and they show. Anyone can go and buy a designer bag, but not everyone can walk into a room looking like the bag. Remember that next time you're choosing between the cravings and the version of you that turns heads and sends a message without even saying a word.
I need to drive this into you guys. I need you to really understand this. Just because someone may be skinny does not mean they are healthy. Those two are not directly related to one another. There's so many different factors that help someone be lean. There's so many other things like faster metabolisms. People could eat like a bunch of processed food that is not healthy for them. They're not eating the clean foods that people are promoting, processed foods, high fats, all that kind of stuff, but they're still skinny because that's the way their body works. That's the way they process food. That's their metabolism. Are they inherently healthy? Probably not the healthiest they could be, but this is the point. Skinny does not equal healthy. Don't listen to these SkinnyTok influencers. While the advice and the things they're doing may be good, and that's a may, the messaging they are putting behind it, skinny is healthy, is totally wrong. It's misinformation. Please do not listen to them. Influencers love to just show off everything they're doing. They broadcast their lives. Sometimes it's subtle, but it's everywhere. Creators are showing off their meals, their routines, their workouts without acknowledging the layers of genetics, privilege, or life circumstance that allows them to live the way they are. Some people may be doing everything right, but they still don't look like that wellness ideal. And there's a reason for this, because they may have hormonal imbalance or chronic fatigue. But just because someone's not following these routines doesn't mean that they're not healthy. They're still healthy. They're still worthy of health. Sometimes prioritizing health and wellness looks like resting instead of going to the gym because your body needs a break. Sometimes it's having something quick and easy because your mental state cannot fathom putting in the time and effort to make a meal. Sometimes it's choosing peace over perfection. Health should look more like joy instead of pressure. It can look like walking slowly, going to therapy. You do not owe the world a certain image of health. You do not have to fit the mold in order to take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, what is the healthiest thing you can do? It's listening to your own body, not the one TikTok keeps trying to sell you.
I'm not even joking. People that are actually 23 years old are complaining about, oh, I'm just getting old. Oh, my body just doesn't work like it used to. Babe, no, you're not old, you're just fat. Aesthetics aside, this is what getting fat feels like. Girl, yeah, you should not be feeling tired, worn out, achy at 23 years old. No, you're just out of shape and you don't take care of your body, and it's prevalent. This is your sign. Let's grow up today. Let's go to the gym. Let's take care of ourselves. Because you should not be feeling old at 23. That is absolutely like bonkers. And there's so many people I work with. Bro, you're not old, you're just fat. That's why you feel like that. No, because they actually genuinely believe that they feel like this because they're getting old at 23 years old. Babe, you're just fat. Like, girl.
I cannot get over how out of touch and just how rude this video is. Like, I'm sorry, but no. There's a lot of people in the comments that are pretty much debunking what she's saying. Yes, 23, you're not old. That's not the point. People are allowed to feel achy. They're allowed to feel tired because guess what? There are different elements and different things that could be going on behind the scenes that are causing people to feel that way. I used to work in healthcare as a personal support worker, and my body is destroyed. I'm 29 right now. I am achy all over. I used to go to the gym. Did it help? Absolutely not. Weightlifting and doing all that stuff can also cause damage to your joints and ligaments and things like that and cause you to be achy. Just because you work out doesn't mean you're going to avoid feeling stuff in your body. Being in healthcare is a really hard job. You're supporting other people's weight on your body. Sometimes they're heavier than you. You're doing a lot of physical labor. People who do physical labor as a job like construction and just have physical jobs in general, they are naturally going to feel tired and achy and things like that more than the average influencer who's sitting on her butt and does nothing but go to the gym all day. Not saying that's what she does, but if that's the case, I don't think she should be talking about how other people should be feeling, especially if you're just sitting there. She did say she goes to work. She's like, there's so many people I work with that say they feel this way and they're feeling old, but they're just fat. Can you imagine how someone would feel if they worked with you, they saw this video and just heard you call them fat? There are so many people online that make content that should not be making content. I can't believe she saw that video. She posted that video and said, you know what? That looks like this eats. I'm gonna post it. This needs to be said. Girl, no. In her caption, she says, get it together, #fitness, #motivation. That's reaching. #eat healthy, #healthy lifestyle. Oh yeah, let's be healthy while you tear down other people's mental health by insulting them. Someone said, girl, I'm skinny and I feel worn out already. Some of us have chronic pain, injuries, and mental health problems. Someone else said, fitness does not equal skinny. I was the skinniest and unfittest person I knew for the longest time. Exactly. So what she's saying, just because someone's skinny does not mean that they wouldn't feel the typical aches and pains that most people feel as they age naturally. Someone else said, I'm a marathon runner doing cardio, strength training, fueling my body correctly, 23 years old. I'm in very good shape and can definitely say I do feel very fatigued and tired a lot of the time. People of all sizes complain about this. Hope this helps. Anyway, this is not the only video we're going to be watching of this creator. She did do another video, which we're going to play now.
Being skinny is rented, not owned. I'm not the one who came up with this. I heard it on my For You page one time and it really stuck with me. That is why being skinny is a lifestyle, not a goal. Because once you get there, if you do not do what you've done to get there, you will not maintain it. So just like your rent, you have to rent skinny. You have to pay your daily dues. Because what happens when you don't pay your rent? You get kicked out. So think about getting skinny like the Skinny Girl Club. If you don't pay your daily dues, you don't get your steps in, you don't watch what you eat, you will be kicked out of the club and you will start to gain weight. So think about it that way. Think about just paying your daily dues. Because being skinny, it's rented, babe. If you don't pay your rent, you're getting kicked out. Because I'm telling you, as soon as you hit your goal weight and you kick your feet up and, oh, I've made it, guys. You're going to step on the scale the next week and you're going to be up 3, 4, 5 pounds. Yeah, babe, you're not paying your daily dues. You got to pay your dues. So stop being a pick-me and being like, oh, she's just naturally skinny. Brrr. If you want to be part of the Skinny Girl Club, get your ass up and start paying your rent. Stop overeating and get your damn steps in, bro. Start moving that body. So remember, being skinny is not owned, it's rented. So if you want to be skinny, you got to pay your rent.
I don't want to be a part of the Skinny Girl Club if they have girls like this in there. This whole skinny is just like the end all be all is not it. I was skinny, really skinny. And guess what? When I was my skinniest, I felt the most insecure. Granted, when I was my most overweight as well, I also felt insecure. There's a good in between. And all she was saying, everything I just heard, sounds nothing more than exhausting. Making sure you're doing all of these things because you're living in fear of gaining a little bit of weight back. Who wants to live their life in fear? You should be focusing on creating a healthy lifestyle that fits you. And maybe that means being the skinniest ever, or maybe that means just simply being okay with your body, eating clean foods, not having to live and uphold this lifestyle that is being portrayed on social media, doing what these influencers tell you to do because they think being a little bit overweight or fat or whatever is not healthy. And while being overweight is not technically the healthiest, skinny does not mean being healthy either. So this video has sound over it, so I'm going to read what the text says on the screen, but this one says, skinny girl hack. Sauna 2 to 4 times a week, even just 1 session per week to increase human growth hormone, boost your metabolism and anti-aging. Plus it clears your skin, lowers cortisol, reduces inflammation, boosts dopamine and endorphins, detoxes the body, and even helps you sleep better. While this stuff may be true in the description of what she's saying, why is it labeled skinny girl hack? That's not a skinny girl hack. Going in the sauna does not make you skinny. It makes you sweat more, yeah, but it doesn't make you skinny. And labeling it as a skinny girl hack does nothing more than uplift and pretty much glorify being skinny. This is just a healthy person hack. If you want to do these things that she talked about, go in the sauna. Why is that labeled as a skinny girl hack? That's so problematic. And I'm so tired of the SkinnyTok community on TikTok. There's so many people for it. There's so many people against it. I'm the against it side because I feel like that messaging is so toxic.
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels as cute. It should be. Nothing tastes as good as putting on baggy, low-rise jeans and being obsessed with how they look. Guys, I think baggy jeans are so sexy and underrated. They are so flattering to me. Like, I'm obsessed. These are the Levi's 94 baggy. I size up like 3 sizes. Okay, not 3. I size up like 2 sizes to get this look. I didn't get these taken in. Look how they just like sit so nice on my body. I love, and I'm 5'8". I'm a tall girl. Look how long these are on me. So say it with me. Nothing tastes as good as skinny. No, nothing tastes as good as low-rise baggy jeans.
I like the last part. Nothing tastes as good as low-rise baggy jeans. But the fact that she said and promoted the messaging of nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, I can think of many things that taste way better than what skinny feels like, okay? Spaghetti, for one, carbs, garlic bread, Caesar salad, like so many amazing foods that I would rather be eating than being obsessed with being skinny. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. And I feel like a lot of these SkinnyTok influencers are promoting an unhealthy regimen, an unhealthy ideal of what health looks like.
These are wellness things that have genuinely worked. Like when I am down bad, this is what I go back to. And this is from someone that's dealt with chronic illness for 6 years, whether it's gut issues to heart inflammation, to Lyme disease, to chronic fatigue, like you name it, I've had it. And this is what's worked. Starting my day with a high protein, savory breakfast, none of the like overnight oats-ish that my body wants because I want sweet foods, which then sets me up to actually have an energy crash and more sweet foods throughout the day. No, your body, it will thrive off of a savory, high protein breakfast. I could get into the science behind this, but look into blood sugar regulation and then look into how building muscle, aka increasing your protein intake to build muscle, literally directly improves the quality of your life. Morning sunshine, when I do this consistently, the way my circadian rhythm loves me, which scientifically means that I have more energy throughout the day and sleep better at night, two crucial components of how we feel. Daily movement, I'm talking about gentle movement, low impact movement, walks. This keeps your lymphatic system going, which is quite literally the system that removes toxins from your body, and a buildup of toxins is why we're sick. Addressing deficiencies, something so small as having low vitamin D can literally make you depressed, have no energy, no will to literally like leave your home and live. Things like magnesium, yeah, they're responsible for over 300 enzyme reactions in the body. If you are deficient, you'll feel like shit. Okay, I'll do part 2 right after this. I could truly gab for hours, and you guys hate when my videos are too long. Okay, love you.
People were kind of upset that she didn't put the whole list in one video. But while this video was framed like, this is what works for my body, the first thing she says is, my body, your body will thrive on a high protein savory breakfast. And while that may be true, that might not be true for every single person. Yeah, the intention of this video was what worked for me, this helped me. The fact that she's like, your body, telling you what your body will thrive off of is problematic. And I'm not saying the things on her checklist were bad. There were actually a lot of really good things on that list, but it's just this framing of this worked for me, so this is going to work for you too. Just because it works for one person does not mean it's going to work for you. Health is not the same for everybody.
Not all healthy things are good for you. These are wellness things that I don't subscribe to right now in my life. Taking a probiotic, drinking morning lemon water, adding apple cider vinegar to my water or pre-meals, working out too often, drinking bone broth, eating fermented foods like having coconut yogurt for breakfast. If any of these things make you feel worse rather than better, I would bet that you are dealing with some sort of histamine intolerance. There's a reason I don't do any of these right now, because you cannot heal your gut with these things if you are dealing with histamine intolerance. In fact, it just makes your gut symptoms worse. Look into it.
This is the same creator that we just watched, but she was like, not all healthy things are healthy for you. And the fact that she said that, but also made this video saying your body will thrive, it kind of clashes with each other. But I do agree with what she's saying. Not all healthy things are healthy for you. So if you're trying something that you see an influencer post or it's on their list and you feel like crap because of it, that's just because it's not meant for your body. It doesn't mean that you're inherently less healthy than this person or that person. It just means that you need to find what works best for you. I'll say it again, and I'll say it probably many times throughout this video. Health is not a one size fits all. So now I want to dive into the performance problem on TikTok. TikTok wellness has become less about actually being healthy and more about looking healthy. You see a whole bunch of curated routines, $200 Lululemon hauls, like it's about the aesthetic more than anything else, buying the accessories, buying the tools, buying the things that will help you fit into that category. And another thing we don't see is the pressure behind all of this content. The anxiety these creators must feel when they miss a day, or their viewers must feel when they miss a day because they're following the exact same routine. The guilt when you didn't optimize or check off everything on the list. It becomes less about serving your body and doing whatever you can to optimize and get more likes. And this ultimately leads to people chasing an identity more than listening and adhering to their own body's needs. There's this pressure now, especially for women, to be that girl who has it all together. Not just someone who takes care of herself, but someone who makes health look aspirational. But when health becomes something you perform, it stops being about you. You're not asking, what does my body need today? You're asking, would this routine go viral? Will people think I'm on top of things? Do I look balanced enough? Am I fitting into this mold or this aesthetic that is popular right now? And as I mentioned before, this mindset is absolutely exhausting. And here is the absolute wild part. Some of the healthiest things you can do don't look like health online. They look like logging off, like setting boundaries, like choosing not to record a single thing you're doing because you're actually present in your own life. And this isn't about judgment. I felt that pull too, that temptation to make everything content, because we live in such a connected world online. We always want to share our lives with people. But if our pursuit of wellness makes us feel more anxious, more perfectionistic, more performative, is that truly wellness? Absolutely not. You don't need to prove your health to anyone. You're allowed to be healthy in private, to grow quietly, to allow your body the ability to change itself and to fit the mold of what healthy looks like for you, and not fit into somebody else's idea of what health should look like.
It is scientifically proven that hot girls have productive morning routines. Just kidding. I have no idea if that's true, but I do feel the most productive when I have a morning routine. So step 1, skincare. Obviously, that's essential. Step 2, we're going on a hot girl walk. It is essential for my mental health to be in the
sunshine, because the sun on your skin, there's no better feeling. My day immediately got 10 times better when I saw these packages at the door, because retail therapy. The next step is getting a workout in, because there's no better feeling than doing a workout at home. I then had my daily greens, which you guys saw me prep earlier this week, and I made myself a savory breakfast. Who am I? I'm usually having something sweet. And now it's time to work. Bye.
This routine works good if you work from home, have a later start time, or are unemployed or a full-time influencer. But people who have to wake up at 6 a.m., get to work by 8, might not have time to do this. Hot girls have productive morning routines. You can be hot and still not have a in-depth morning routine like that. I might be taking this a little too literally, which I know some people might comment. I'm just so over people freezing things like that. I'm so over it. I'm so over people not showcasing different lifestyles and different versions of what healthy looks like for them. They all fit into the same mold. We're always seeing the same exact routines over and over again. Greens drink, working out, going on a walk, listening to a podcast of some sort. Like, yeah, while those things are great, I think we need to diversify what we're seeing online a little bit. So then we're not thinking of health and wellness as a one-size-fits-all regimen.
If you're a full-grown adult that's sleeping in past 8 o'clock on a daily basis, that's so embarrassing for you. I got up 5 hours before I had to be to work this morning so that I could come to the beach and get myself a donut, walk on the beach for an hour before my shift. It really just sets your day up for success. If you're waking up an hour before you have to be to work and then rushing your morning and then no time for yourself, that just sucks. I feel bad for you. You should wake up early so you can go get a donut before work. It'll make you a much better person, you know? So.
Now, another thing I just wanted to kind of talk about before we end today's video is the Dinosaur times Spinach girls. I mentioned them at the beginning of the video, but this new trend where people in the health and wellness space have started shoving handfuls of spinach in their mouths for taste buds and helping you crave less sugar throughout the day. One person did it and now so many people are doing it. And this is just a prime example of how health and wellness has become more about trends and virality over actual wellness. Do people research these things before trying them, or do they just see it, see how popular it is becoming, and do the same thing? And yes, while there's some actual truth to that idea, greens like spinach may help reduce sugar cravings, especially if eaten early in the day, they don't tell you why that is and why it works. So I'm going to do that for you. So spinach has bitter compounds that can wake up your taste buds and reduce your desire for overly sweet foods. It's also filled with magnesium and other micronutrients that can help stabilize blood sugar, which in turn can reduce cravings later on. And it's also a great source of fiber, so it slows digestion, making you feel fuller and possibly less likely to reach for sugary snacks. But you have to eat other things along with the spinach, not just spinach on its own, otherwise it's not gonna make you feel full. Another thing people do is chew bitter greens slowly, so like arugula or spinach before meals as a way to curb their appetite and reset their palate. So yes, grabbing a handful of spinach first thing in the morning might actually help you feel less drawn to sugar later. That's only as long if it's a part of a bigger strategy, like eating enough protein and healthy fats too. So just want to touch on that because I've seen that coming up on my For You feed way too many times. I'm not going to try it myself because that looks absolutely disgusting and the texture of spinach is just nasty when it gets wet. So no thank you. I'm going to pass on that. So I really hope after the end of this video, you've been able to just redefine what health means for you. It might not look exactly like what you see online. It might look completely different to what you see online. As long as that's healthy for you, that's all that matters. And you do not need to be following a checklist that somebody else is telling you to follow. So no, TikTok does not get to decide if you're healthy. Only you can do that and how you feel and listening to your own body. A checklist does not define your wellness, you do. And real health, it's not always pretty, but it is always worth it. I'd love to hear what you guys do. What is one wellness thing that you do, even if it's not trendy? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think of these trends, what you think of SkinnyTok. Just let me know what you think in general of what we talked about today. God bless you all, and until next time.